Awesome. Okay, we're recording, guys. So first of all, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your Tuesday to hop on with us. I have everyone muted out. So make sure that you see that little line through your audio button, guys, so we're not getting your background noise. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for getting on. I know it's summer. I know that it can be challenging, but to make the effort to get on this call every week, it's something that just feeds you. It's something that pumps you up. And every single week we have a 200K on that has a phenomenal story and great tips. And I'm so excited for today's call. I have Jennifer Welshans on with us. And Jennifer, you're probably going to have to unmute yourself because I muted everybody out.
Yeah, hi, I'm happy to be here.
Hey, thank you. First of all, I just want to thank you so much. And I just love Lavelle so much because no matter who I asked, we've had so many different 200Ks on, and they're always just so happy and gracious to hop on and share, even though they're not making money off of the people on the call. And not every company is like that. Not every leader is like that. But we are just so blessed over here to have a team full of people that are just so willing to jump in and help and share. And so I just really appreciate you taking the next 45 minutes out of your life to share with us. And I can't wait. I always get excited when I do these calls and I don't know someone's story and I don't know yours because it's a surprise for me too. So I'm excited to hear your journey just in general, with your life, network marketing, Lavelle, what it's done for you. And I want to hear some awesome tips because I'm sure you have some. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start. What did you do before you got involved in Lavelle network marketing? And did you do network marketing before Lavelle? Was there anything you did before that? If you did, were you successful? Did it go anywhere? And then how did you find Lavelle? And then we'll kind of just go from there.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I feel so honored. I was just telling my team, I was a little taken aback when Lisa Fuller asked me to be on her team Zoom. So I'm very honored to be here. So no, I was not in network marketing before. In fact, I was one of those people that thought it was a scam and, just not my thing. And no, I would never do that kind of person. And I was a master certified hair colorist. So I did hair color full time. At the time, I owned 3 salons, and I was a tired, exhausted, and worn out busy mama. I had 3 kids. I have a husband that really should count as 2 more children. This is not news to him. So when he hears this, if he ever hears it, I say it all the time. And I was exhausted. I was burning the candle at both ends. Brick and mortars businesses, if anybody owns any or have owned anybody, they suck the living life out of you. And I was exhausted, and I never in a million years would have thought I would have gotten into something like this. But I was one Sunday afternoon, I was literally scrolling, not Facebook, I was actually online somehow and saw this silly sticker. And I thought, what the heck? I'm one of those people that I'm a product junkie, so I'll try anything. And I was literally just looking for something to give me more energy because I was a huge coffee, Diet Pepsi. I mean, I would drink 3 to 4 K-cups every morning, a swing through my local coffee shop on the way to the salon. And then my team knew that if they didn't get me one of those giant big gulp Diet Pepsis from the gas station, Jen was going to get super grouchy. So it was they almost were past interference here. And I also figured out that you could take 2 5-hour energy shots a day and not die. But I was still tired, exhausted, and worn out. I was just looking for something else, something that possibly couldn't be killing me as much as what I was doing was. And like I said, I stumbled on this silly sticker, ordered it. I felt amazing. And I just literally couldn't shut up. I just couldn't stop talking about it. I couldn't stop talking about how I felt, especially to my customers, especially when they were coming in and they're like, what are you taking? Because you're way nicer. So I was just sharing, and I didn't know that that's really all you do. And when my direct sponsor, she's not really in the business, but her sponsor kind of took a liking to me, and she's like, you really could promote. And I'm like, dude, I don't need anything else on my plate. I already have too much to do every day. And I am not going to be one of those people. So she's like, well, you could just get your 2 referrals and get your product for free. And I'm like, okay, I could do that. And by then I had talked my husband into taking it, and he was loving how he felt. And so pretty soon we were like gathering all these people to like put in, but I didn't know what to do. And she's like, if you just hit the promoter button, you could like, at least make some money, not only earn your product for free, but make some money on those orders. And, even if you don't want to take that commission out, you just flip it to credits and get an extra box of shakes. That was her line to me, get an extra box of shakes a month. And I'm like, okay, I guess I was entrepreneurial enough to be like, okay. So till it was said and done, I had hit VIP 1600 and didn't know it. Because I had a couple people that thought they wanted to do the business side. And I'm like, I have no idea what this is. Like, don't ask me any questions. Like, here's Kristen's number. Like, you talk to her. And what changed let me just, before I get ahead of myself, I will get real squirrel here. So all of a sudden I hit VIP 1600 and they deposited like $1,000 into my checking account. Like, she talked me about how to set up the direct deposit. And I'm like, I'm just going to do credits, blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, I saw this like deposit by Lavelle in my checking account. And I'm like, what just happened here? And I called her and she's like, this is what happened and this is how you did it. And I was like, really? Like, I didn't really do anything. I just told people how I felt, and people were like, what are you on? Because you're nicer and I need some of it. So then I'm like, well, maybe I could do this on the side. It just kind of became super real to me when I saw that cash. And at the time, this was 2 years ago, I signed as a promoter on February 7th, 2017. And at the time, Lavelle had rank advance bonuses. And being in a brick and mortars business, I had a big tax bill, like a huge tax bill. And I had my sights set on the $40,000 40K bonus because I had hit VIP, and then the very next month I hit auto bonus and I hit the $12,000 bonus, and I was like, whoa, okay, like if I could just hit that $40,000 one, I could pay off my tax bill and then I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to do this. So I ended up on a whim getting one of the people that was kind of running with me. So March, I hit the auto bonus. April, I hit my husband's auto bonus, and I ended up hitting 40K the very last day of April in 2017. And it was only because I went to convention that year. They didn't call it Palooza then. I don't remember what exactly they called it. Because remember, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't going to do this. So I ended up the other 12K that hit on my team. I'm like, so Kristen thinks we should go to this thing in Texas. Like, this is not going to be a business of mine. Like, do you want to go? Or like, I was fully expecting her to say, no, I don't want to go. And she goes, sure. And I was like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, let's go. Let's see what it's all about. That's when I caught the big picture. That's when it all became very clear what I was going to do the rest of my life. And I literally hit 40K the very next day. Like, that was my goal. And I'm like, all right, then I'm done. But I ended up hitting 80K. So that was April. I hit 80K. I can't remember if it was July or August of that year. And then 200K in November. And it was just a whirlwind. Lavelle's my first company. I never in a million years, I still shock myself pretty regularly that I'm even doing this and that I love it so much. But coming from a brick and mortars business background, I have fallen in love with this business model. I have a full-on appreciation for the fact that the face of retail buying is changing. I mean, I don't know where y'all live, but I'm in central Pennsylvania and our mall is like a ghost town. Like, they really should turn it into like an Amazon fulfillment center because that's where everybody's buying from. So I believe in this online thing. I honestly wholeheartedly believe now that network marketing is the wave of the future for business, because it does not get any better than this. I've done it, people. I've done it 3 times. I don't know what possessed me at the time, but this is seriously the wave of the future. And that is my that's my passion right now, is to help people understand that if you've got an entrepreneurial bone in your body at all, this is the way to go. So did I answer?
You know, as you were like telling your story, I was thinking about the fact that you didn't do network marketing before, but just the fact that you owned like 3 salons, you knew a lot of people, like you had a network. And the other thing that struck me too was when you were talking about, you were just sharing it. Like you didn't put that pressure on yourself in the beginning that a lot of people do. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be a salesperson. And then they don't say anything at all. Then they get all like, clam up, and then they do nothing. Where you, because the pressure wasn't on you, you weren't looking at it like really anything. So you were just sharing something that you liked. And that's what it's like, the missing piece for a lot of people. They just need to understand, if they take that pressure off themselves and they start to understand that this is just sharing something. And if you look back at like everything in life that you've fallen in love with or really liked, and you go share it with other people, they get excited too. But it's for some reason we get in our heads, oh my gosh, we are selling this. And because we're making money off of it, we clam up and we're like, oh, we can't tell people because they're going to think something else, or they're going to assume that I'm trying to make a sale. And it's so crazy how many of these like Zooms I do, and I interview different people, but that's the one commonality with a lot of people that took off in the beginning, is they didn't look at it like they were selling anything. And it is mindset. Like it is so much mindset. But I also love the fact that, we always think about what kind of market should we be working in. Who would that next rock star be? And some of us think, oh, well, the next rock star is somebody that's done network marketing before. That's not true. I was a waitress for, 25 years. You own 3 salons, and you came in and blew this up. I came in and blew my business up. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that, you guys, the rock stars aren't just people that have done network marketing before. Like, look at another business owner. Who in your life do you know that owns a boutique or a salon, or they had that entrepreneur mindset? Like, that's who you're looking for, because those are the people that are going to see the value in this. And then you get them on a call or in a message with somebody that's like-minded, somebody else that owns a salon, that can say, oh my gosh, girl, I know exactly where you're at. Or someone else that, like, there's so many already golden nuggets just with your story, because, you didn't plan this, but now here you are. And it's like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So just out of curiosity, do you still own your salons? Like, what did you do with those?
So I do, but it's more of an emotional attachment. Like, I spent 20 years of blood, sweat, and tears putting it into those businesses. It's more, I do, but I don't run them. Like, Lavelle's my full-time thing. And it's more of just an emotional attachment. I haven't been ready to like cut the cord yet. So, but I also believe in multiple streams of income too. So it's more of emotional.
Right.
And I probably should keep them because someday they'll be profitable.
So that's my other question for you, because, people are, we get into network marketing, and then 3 months goes by and we're like, we're not making any money yet. So we quit, or we hit like, it's summer. I'm not going to lie. My business has been slower. It's summer. I've had some paychecks that I was like, what the heck is that? It's summer. So you owned a traditional business, like 3 of them. Was there slow times? How long did it take before you started profiting? Like, what did that look like? Because I think people need to hear, if they were going to open a traditional business, guess what? It's slow sometimes. Guess what? You don't make money right away.
Oh my gosh. And not only do you not make money, but you still have rent to pay, and you have employee taxes to pay.
Oh God.
Seriously, this is so light years different compared to that. Like, I can't tell you how many times I cut payroll and prayed that all the money would be there, and then I did give myself a paycheck. You know what I mean? And that was years and years and years of working. Like when you own a brick and mortars business, like cracks me up when people say, I don't want to do network marketing because I don't want to be married to it. And I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about, because when you own a brick and mortars business, you are married to it and you are the cash cow. And if you're not there, busting your butt, you know what I mean? It's just so different. And there are years I went without taking a paycheck, years before we saw any profit, because we were growing and, you know, money needed to be put back into it. And it's just, this is so much better. Like I seriously, my only regret in this whole thing is that I didn't start this at, 23 when I started my brick and mortars business. I wish somebody would have reached out to me then.
Right. Somebody told me about this amazing secret. So, you went fast, and I know when I came in to network marketing, I mean, I didn't go fast, but I didn't go slow either. I mean, I got to like $10,000 a month within my first 6 months in the business. So, I mean, I went, pretty fast, but going that fast, and now you've been in 2 years now?
Mm-hmm.
I know that at first I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. This is never going to slow down. Then suddenly it slowed down. And I was like, what's going on? Maybe it's all over. Oh my gosh, I'm actually going backwards a little bit. Oh my gosh, I just lost a rank. I've had some pretty crazy times in my business where I was like, wait a second, is this all falling apart? And then I just kept going and stuck with it. And then all of a sudden it's growing again. And it's like, whoa, what's happening? And then there's a setback. So in this 2 years, have you ever had that, oh no feeling? What if this is falling apart?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it was shocking to me. I feel like one thing we should do as leaders is when somebody does rank up, we should have that real conversation with them that you very well might not maintain that rank next month. You just need to have that very real conversation with them that it could backslide, and it most likely will, but that's business in general. But I did, and I'll tell you, it really was an eye-opener, and I had all those feelings, what if it's falling apart? What if this isn't gonna work? What if? But then I checked myself because if you allow those thoughts to completely consume your mind, you will never recover. So what I coach my team is, when you're feeling like that, use those times to plug in extra hard, plug into the team calls, plug into the team Zooms, plug into your self-development, and just head first, head down into your business until you get it turned around, because it's very normal. I mean, I own a salon that's been open for over 20 years, and it still has months where I'm like, what just happened? So you just gotta, and I will tell you, that was probably my biggest mistake when I hit 200K. My biggest mistake is I did not maintain rank the next month, because I literally, the stuff I was doing to get there, I stopped doing, because in my head, I was like, okay, I have to turn around and pull everybody else up. And I kind of switched from gangster, pedal on the gas mode to almost micromanagement business mode.
You went into management mode.
Yep.
Which I think happens to a lot of people, is we get to that place. I mean, it might even be 12K for some people, 40K, whatever. It's that kind of unbelievable place that we didn't even think we could get to. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, we have all these people under us. They're going to take me where I want to go. Now I'm just going to dive in and tell them what they need to be doing. Why ain't you working? And then you're like, wait, I'm not working. And I think that is it's the management trap. And I think that so many people fall into that. And it's one of the reasons that their business slows down. But you have to be able to recognize it and look in the mirror and go, okay, what's going on? What's happened? What's different? And 90% of the time I'm not doing the same thing now that I did to get there. And you have to check yourself big time. It's wait a second, I still have to work. I still have to grow my business. And, I've just learned over the last 9 years, the same people that get you to, 12K won't be the same people that get you to 40. I mean, I've got a whole leg that is not there that got me to 200K. That's not even there anymore. Like, it's gone. Like, it's just everybody in that leg just stopped working, and that can happen. And if you're gonna like put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak, you're gonna be in trouble. Like, you've constantly got to be in build mode. I mean, in my opinion. But like, so when you figured out, oh my gosh, I'm in this management mode, like, how long did it take you to figure that out? Was it a while? Or was it like, wait a second, something's wrong right away?
Yeah, it took me longer than I would like to admit to figure out what I was doing wrong and how to correct course. But once I figured it out, and it is like you said, a lot of times it is just the fact that you're not doing what you did to get you there. And I know you guys probably hear that like 1,000 times, but I swear that's what it is. And I believe in energy, and I believe in energy flow. So honestly, if I'm not maximizing my efforts, my team isn't. So if I put the brakes on, my team's gonna come to a screeching halt. You know what I mean? So and they don't even know what I'm doing. It's just like an energy flow. So yeah, it definitely took, because I didn't know what was going on. Because remember, I wasn't gonna do this, so I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what to do to fix it, you know?
So if you think back over the last couple years, is there a time that sticks out to you that was like, that you felt was your most challenging time? Like something that happened in your business that you were, I don't know. I mean, was it that, or did you have something else that happened that you were like, wow, this really sucks? Like, I'm in a funk bad.
So I think the biggest thing is, and I'm sure you probably experienced that with your leg, is when you work so hard with people to bring them along and then they totally stop. You know what I mean? And I think that was, for me, that was the biggest challenge. And I had a trainer say one time that really rang true to me. He said, if you aren't bringing 3 new people into your business every month, you are actually backsliding. And I don't know if that's the magical number, but what he was seeing is because 2 people are going to stop working every month. So it was like that aha moment that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I stopped doing. I tried to help everybody else, and I stopped working on my personal stuff. And then, because no matter how hard I was working to help everybody else, I felt like I was still backsliding. Even though I felt like I was working harder than I had to even get to 200K, but I was just putting the efforts in all the wrong places. I mean, I still wholeheartedly believe that you need to help your team and be there for them, but you cannot stop your personal prospecting and your personal growth, because your team will backslide.
Yeah. And it's scary. Like, I think that people think, oh, if I just got to this rank, or if I was at 200K, I mean, you had to fight, all the time. And I think personally for me, I think the longer you're in, the harder it is. You've got to like reinvent new ways to build your work, to find new people. It's like, okay, now my friends and my family know all about this. The ones that were going to join me did. Now what? Like, where do I go from here? And for me personally, I was not a social media person. I had like 100 friends when I started on Facebook. Like, that was it when I started. And I just mostly built the majority of my business in the beginning just face to face, out and about, networking that way, kind of old school. And I know most people now do it online. And I'm like so learning that now. And I've gotten so much better at it, obviously. But what are you doing now? 2 years in, I'm sure you feel like you kind of hit that wall with friends and family. Okay, they know what I do. How are you continuing to build your network, to build up your social media?
I am constantly adding new people to my network, because I was like you. At first, I was very private with my Facebook. I had less than 300 friends. I very rarely accepted friend requests. And now I've changed my mindset, because I want to build online, because I think, to me, that is where I want to take it. But you got to constantly be adding new people. And that was a huge mistake that I was doing. And of course, I wasn't coaching my team to do that I made, is because what are the statistics? 2% of your network are going to buy from you right now. The other 80% of your network are not going to buy from you until they've like had 8 to 20 impressions about your product, whether it's reach outs or they see your post or something like that. So you kind of have to constantly be adding new people to that network to keep those 2%ers coming in. So that's what I do. I'm constantly adding new people to my network. I'm in groups. That really works, really, really works. I wouldn't say I'm an expert at Instagram, but I'm playing with it. So I have 7,000 more people to talk to over there.
I know, I'm like struggling. I keep saying I'm going to start Instagram and I'm like, I never start it. I have an Instagram. I just haven't logged into it in 4 months. I'm like, okay, I've got to like do something with this. And I know that like, even, you know, do you cold message? Like, are you that person? Like, everybody's different. I've had 200Ks on that are like, heck yeah. I message people saying, have you heard about Thrive? Do you know what Lavelle is? And that's not comfortable for me personally, but I was just curious, like, do you send those bold messages? Do you wait for people to ask you? Like, how do you roll with that?
So I have a big, long story about that. When I got started, I did spam message. I spammed my entire network. I lost friends, and that kicks you in the guts. I mean, when people unfriend you, that's hurtful. So, but I stopped, right? And I embraced that whole, like, we don't spam people, we don't message, that kind of thing. But through all of this learning about why the team isn't growing, why my network's not growing, why, I came back around and I realized with the help of a mentor, and I realized I wasn't doing what I was doing to get there in the beginning. Like, I wasn't messaging people. I was talking to people, but I was drowning. I mean, I was in beast mode. Like, I was talking to 200 people a day, but I was building rapport and not getting anywhere. I mean, I was occasionally getting an order, but it wasn't what I thought my beast mode efforts should have been giving me, right? So I ended up connecting with a mentor, and I realized a lot of things. One, if you're not talking to people and actually asking them to take a look at your product or your service, you're never going to make a sale. You're just not. And those people, I know there's lots of people out there that don't believe in cold messaging. There's lots of leaders in this industry that say they never message, they never cold message. But I guarantee you, they did at some point. You know, there's leaders that say, I never sent a cold message and I'm the top rank in my company. Yet, if you listen to their story, they cold messaged 100 people a day in their previous company. So they already laid the groundwork for them. So yeah, they come here and they don't have to. So I wouldn't say a cold message, but I do have a messaging system that I find that really works. It's just something we've been doing. It's kind of new for us, but I'll tell you, I love it, because before I was drowning in Messenger. I was literally killing myself because I was talking to so many people, but I wasn't getting anywhere. I made lots of friends, but I wasn't getting the results I wanted in my business. So this mentor had coached me, and he said, look, a cold message, a true cold message, because I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to spam people. I don't want to feel icky. I don't want to do that. And he says to me, a true cold message does a couple of things. It assumes a sale. It assumes somebody wants to buy something from you, right? So we've all gotten them. We've all gotten them when there's links in the message. We've all gotten them where they send this video that wasn't asked for. So he coached me. He's like, a good message, a good reach out that's not considered a cold message and won't irritate people should have a couple of components. It should, one, address the elephant in the room and say, I know we don't know each other, right? And it should, two, say, are you open to taking a look? Whether it be something whether it's your product or your opportunity. Now, I've chosen over the last couple of months to lead with the opportunity, and I know Lavelle does not teach this. I know, and when I came to Lavelle, I was the same way. Like, if somebody would have led with the opportunity with me, like, I was so not into that. I fell in love with a product. And most of the people sitting here, probably for the same reason. You fell in love with a product and decided to do it as a gig, right? But I read a book one time that was written by a leader in another company, and she said they lead with the opportunity there and then default on the product. And I'll tell you, this has worked really well for me. And please stop me, Lisa, if you don't want me telling your people this.
No. I agree with it. I think that you should. And I also think that, there's so many people that they're too scared to mention the opportunity. And the reason why is because, in my opinion, I think because they're not successful yet making money, they're uncomfortable with that portion of it. So they lead with what they know, which is the product, because they like the product, and the product, they have a story with the product. But the thing is that if you're not offering that business opportunity too, you don't know. Some people don't know that's an option. Some people, it's not a thought in their head. It wasn't for you. You know what I mean? So when people aren't like putting it out there, so no, keep going. And I want to know exactly what you're messaging people.
Okay.
This is good.
Okay. So I've decided, I just was like, okay, cause my coach said, if you want change, you got to do something different, which I embrace that. I'm like, okay, I hear you. And so, right, over the last couple of months, I've been sending these messages that lead with the opportunity. And I will tell you, this feels so much better. I've gotten a couple people, and mostly network marketers, that are like, I can't believe you did this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? I have big goals to reach. I mean, I'm like, I don't need you in my life, right? So I've been leading with the opportunity, but defaulting on the product. So my message usually goes, hey, Sally, I know we don't know each other that well, but you keep coming up in my feed, and I just had to reach out to you. I don't know if you're open to taking a look at what I do from home, because I can see you're a busy mom like me. If not, and that's the third component that he said, give them an out. Just say, if not, no biggie. I hope you're having a great day. So that kind of message, I think, doesn't feel as yicky. And I have these in text replacements in my phone, and I can literally send 100 a day in like no time flat. And I'm getting results. And even the people that come back and say, I'm not interested, then I start to build rapport with them. And I'm like, well, hey, no problem. Like, if what you're doing is working for you, that's awesome. But what is it that you do? And then I start chatting with them, and then I default on the product. And then I'm like, have you ever tried Thrive? You'll definitely get more done in your day, or, something like that. And then I take it from there. But it gives me a place to go with these people. Whereas if you lead with the product, you have no place to go, because when they say no, they're certainly not going to say no about the opportunity. And for me, in my heart, it feels better, because I feel like I'm offering them something instead of asking them to buy something. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head. I'm just not sure if it makes sense coming out of my mouth.
No, it does. So when you're sending these messages, are these people you're already friends with, or
Yes.
not friends? So
No,
you are. No, they're not.
No, these are my Facebook friends network. So I've literally printed out my Facebook friends, and I'm going through them page by page. And I start in the back, because if you print them out from your computer, it goes in chronological order. So the people at the end of the list are people that my like very first Facebook friend ever. And I find people that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and I thought I was like beast mode. Like, I thought I talked to everybody. Trust me, you have not talked to everybody. There are people that are going to show up on that list and you don't even remember that you know them. So no, I'm starting with my Facebook friends list. And then the goal is every day I'm still adding 5 to 10 new friends, because trust me, some of these people are going to get annoyed that I message them and they're going to fall off. But there's 8 billion people in the world, guys, and most of them are on Facebook. So I look at it this way. That's okay. Those aren't my humans if they unfriend me because of this. There's more people out there for me to talk to. And strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. So, and that's just Facebook. Like I said, we've got Instagram, and this particular coach I'm talking about, he doesn't build in network marketing anymore. Like, he's not in network marketing. He just is a coach for network marketers. But he said when he did build in a company, he actually would message that to non-friends, and he wouldn't friend request them until they signed on. So like, there's that way. I haven't gotten there because I have more than enough people to talk to, because I have like 4,300 Facebook friends. Even at 100 a day, that's, I'm still, and I try to do that, but I don't, I have 3 kids. So it's like,
Right.
it gets away from me, but I'm still working my way through it.
Well,
And
and it's not, I mean, what you're doing isn't going to be everybody's cup of tea, or it might not work for everybody.
right.
But that's what I love about these Zooms every week, is that it may be something that somebody can try, and I love the layout of it, like how you kind of just, you give people an out, if not, no big deal, or how you relate to them. But at the end of the day, you're right, there's like how many millions of people on Facebook. And I think a lot of times what holds people back in the beginning is the loss of losing friends, somebody unfriending. I mean, we take those things so personal. And at the end of the day, you just have to realize that if you're going to be changing your mindset and grow in this business, you're going to lose some people along the way that just aren't there mentally with you, or just don't want to be a part of it. And that's okay. But it is shocking in the beginning. And I think it's why a lot of people do quit. I mean, they say like 90% of people that quit network marketing in their first couple months, it's because of what someone else said. It is. It's because, somebody told them they were crazy. Oh, I did that before, it didn't work, or you're stupid. I mean, we let these things affect us so much. And, I think once you're in this business for a while, your mindset changes so much about not letting what other people say affect you so much. Because I know that I lived off of that. Like I was a people pleaser. Like if one person, somebody could say to me, oh my gosh, you look amazing in that outfit. But if one person said you look fat, I would concentrate on the one person, not the 50 people, but the one. And I think that we all do that. And it's hard, especially in the beginning when your mindset has not grown yet, and you haven't developed yourself as really a person, or who am I? What are my values? What do I want? Because we don't have that luxury in real life. In real life, we're just trying to pay the bills. Like the first time somebody ever asked me, so what are your goals, was in this industry. Nobody had ever asked me that stuff before. So it is a total mindset change. Unfortunately, most people don't even get to that point because they quit, because they don't get there, and it's sad. It always makes me sad when I think about that. But so tell me a little bit about signing up a new promoter. Like you get somebody, they say, okay, let's do this. What does it look like for you taking them through those first couple of weeks? Like how involved are you? What do you give them? How do you coach them? Just give us some insight on that.
So we do use a VIP training bot that they connect to. And since I started this new way, I've actually done one-on-one Zooms with them. And the ones that I know that are really super interested, first connect them to the bot and then just talk to them. And I think you can kind of figure out like if they are going to go for their VIP bonuses, or they're going to, it's not like a focus of theirs. So the ones that want to go for the VIP bonuses, I'm actually doing one-on-one Zooms with them, or I put a couple of them together to work really closely with them, because I feel like people have a desire level when they get started. They just have no idea what to do. So I actually coach them on how to reach out. I'm not big on like spamming your friends and family. Like, I don't feel like they I don't know. It's not something that I tell them to do, like make your 10 list, your list of 10 people that would buy dirt from you kind of thing. So they're more than welcome to do that. And if they have somebody they think would love the product, I help them design a message. But I do help them do reach outs. I do help them post, because we don't coach to post. We coach attraction marketing and curiosity posting, and not spammy posting. So I just I hold their hand for a little while, definitely through the VIP phase, and then help them learn connection chats and stuff like that. We do our VIP training bot includes like a live event and different types of posting to make to get lots of engagement and stuff like that. So it's I feel
Are you guys like big on third party credibility? Do you do three-way messages or calls or things like that?
Yeah, we do more connection chats, the three-way chats, than three-way calls, just because I find that it's harder and harder to get people on the phone. So we offer both. It's both of it is an option, but we absolutely encourage that. I think that's so important. And I tell people with the chats, like I said, we do more of those, but I tell people not only are you going to I'm going to help close that sale for you, but you're also going to learn how I answer questions and how I talk to people. So it's not just third-party validation, but it's also an amazing training tool for that new promoter.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's just hard for some people to do third party because if they weren't brought in doing it, it's like kind of how you were trained. And I always tell people, like, what you do with a brand new person, that's what they're going to do with their people because that's all they know. So you have to like be mindful of that, because if you're slacking, not holding their hand, and then you're telling them to do something completely different than what you did with them, they're like, well, you didn't do that with me. So it's kind of like you have to be mindful when you sign people. And I agree. I think, like when I sign someone up, it's pretty easy for me to tell out of the gate whether they're going to run after these bonuses or not. And for a lot of people, it's just not important to them. They're kind of like, whatever. And I think we're so hard on ourselves. I think we think we're doing something wrong, but we're not. We just have to realize that most people aren't go-getters. They're not. They're just not. We're kind of looking for like needles in haystacks, I guess. Are most of the promoters on your team, like when you look at your personally enrolled and the people that took you to 200K and beyond, were those people friends? Were they acquaintances?
No, I would
They were
say
people you didn't even know?
I would say 98% of the people on my team I never met before Thrive. And a lot of them I still haven't met because they live in other areas, but no, not at all.
It's so crazy because I think people think it's going to be their friends and family that get them there. Oh my gosh. Most of my friends and family that I knew before I started network marketing, they've never been involved. They've never gotten involved. Most of them aren't customers. It's so crazy how most of our friends and family are the last people to jump in, if ever. It's like, I think, Courtney Good is a 200K, and she said something that I just was like, oh my gosh, that's like gold. She said, as soon as you realize that it won't be your friends and family that gets you to where you want to go, then you're there. Now you get it. Now you're like, okay, I got to go make friends, and with new people, I've got to, extend and stretch myself to grow my network, because it's not going to be these people I know right now. And, can some people get lucky? Absolutely. But for the most part, when I look at my team now, they are all people I did not know before this industry. Gosh, I think there's one person that I knew before this industry that I work with now. It's crazy. Because I think we think, oh my gosh, why wouldn't everyone want to do this? This is amazing. But they don't. Not everybody wants to do it. Not everybody sees the vision. It sounds like you do a lot of self-development when you're talking about like coaches and mentors. Is there any, I don't know, is there any books that you're like, oh my gosh, this is a must read? Or is there any people that you're like, wow, you've got to follow this person or this podcast or this YouTube? Is there anything that sticks out to you?
So when you say, is there any book that's a must read? There's so many. I would say for anything Ray Higdon is my coach. So he is completely generic. He is not in another company, as a lot of people think he's building in a certain company. He's not. I had that conversation with him personally. So his books, he's got tons of lots of great network marketing books about social media, about leadership, all kinds of stuff. A really good book that I think is every new network marketer should read is actually, and I'm going to screw the name up, I think it's called Get Over Your Damn Self. Does anybody know which one I'm talking about?
I think that is what it's called.
Yeah, that is so good. I love the way she speaks. And when I use the analogy about leading, yep, there you go. Get over your damn self. Yep, Pam has it. So there you go. Danny has it. It's a great book. I've read that over and over and over, and I pick up something new every time. But yeah, I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm not a big podcaster. I'll catch them every once in a while, but I love my Audible. I'm always into something. I listen to about 2 books a week. I'm huge on self-development. If you don't do anything for your business, do self-development, because I feel like the biggest hurdle you have as a network marketer is self-confidence. Confidence in being able to talk to people, confidence in not being shut down so easily because somebody tells you no. And just so you know, no just means not now. And I would take a ghosted message before a no any day, because that ghosted message is it's just not their time yet, but they're not saying no. So keep that in mind. Have you ever heard Maria Dillard talk about the gum analogy? I use this with my team. Can somebody say yes or no? Do you know the gum analogy?
I don't think I've heard of it. Yeah, share it with us.
So if you're at a baseball game and you're handing out a gum to all your friends, okay? So use this in your business. You're handing out gum to all your friends. Some of your friends are going to accept the gum and some are going to say no. And those that say no, you're not hurt by it, right? And it doesn't mean they don't like gum, and it doesn't mean they don't like you. And most likely at the very next baseball game and you're handing out gum, they may say yes. So look at your talking to people with that in mind, that just because they say no, it doesn't mean they don't want to feel better, and it doesn't mean they don't like you or they don't like Thrive or anything like that. It's just not right now. So think about it that way, because the very next time you message them could be the time they take your gum.
So since you kind of mentioned follow-up a little bit, what's your like theory on follow-up? What makes you stop following up with someone? Or, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, like, you know how you've been like messaging a person back and forth and they've asked you some questions and then you're talking to them and then all of a sudden it goes silent and then all of a sudden they'll ask you something again. Like, is there a point where, like, because Thrive is running like 10 specials a month, and it's like, oh, I just wanted to let you know there's another special, or I just wanted to let you know new product. I mean, when is that point where you're like, okay, it's been 2 years? Like, is there a breaking point for you? Or how do you ask them, am I bugging you?
So I coach my team, you follow up till you die or they die. I mean, legitimately.
That's how I am until somebody like comes and takes me to jail or files a report. I'm good.
Or they get super nasty, because you don't need that negativity in your life. But no, I just constantly follow up with people. And sometimes it's not even about the product. Sometimes it's just, I'll go, if they're if they're the name on my list, I might just go love on something on their Facebook page. People do not do this enough. And it's so important, because people, if you're not in this industry, typically people they don't love on people's stuff anymore. They're so caught in the scroll. So if you go and heart and comment on somebody's post, all of a sudden it's a follow-up because they think of you. Yet you're not talking to them about your business or your opportunity, but I guarantee you they're going to your page to see what you're up to. And that's where, if you have your page laid out the way it should be, not spammy, but attraction marketing, curiosity posting, you already did the follow-up in their head. But what's amazing about that theory is you didn't bring it up to them. They thought of Thrive, and it was their idea to think of it, not because you said it. And that is so much more powerful. So to me, that is a follow-up too. And I'll just love on people's stuff. Now, you don't want to go all psycho and like love on the last 10 days of their stuff. Just one time so they think of you, but they don't think you're stalking their page. But yes, I'm a big believer in follow-up. And who is on here that you saw Thrive for 2 years on Facebook before you decided to take, I mean, I was not one of those people. Like, I was not one of those people that saw it on Facebook, but I saw a heck of a lot of other stuff, and sometimes it just has to be the right time for people.
Oh yeah. All about timing. It was so crazy. The other day I was looking through all the leaders on my team and what they did before Lavelle or just, network marketing. And most of the people on my team that are successful are either salon, they did something in salons or spas. They were a teacher. They were in the health field, like a nurse, or they were waitresses or bartenders. Like, seriously, I was looking at that. Or they owned a business previous, not network marketing, but they owned a previous business. And it was kind of like an eye opener. I'm like going through my friends list thinking, who else owns a salon or spa? Who else is an entrepreneur at heart? Who else is a nurse or a teacher? Like, I was looking through my friends list, like I'm like, that's going in my like top 30. I'm going to start connecting with these people, because I think that there are I think you have to be a people person for network marketing. And if you're not, you have to become one. Because I would definitely say, I mean, for me, it was easy to talk to strangers because I waited tables and bartended. You know what I mean? You had to start those conversations. Just like owning a salon, you've got to be friendly. You're kind of like people's therapists. You know what I mean? And it's like, nurses, they have to be attentive and caring. And teachers, they talk to a room full of people, they're attentive, caring. And it's just so crazy because like there's a whole, and I'm not saying anybody can't do this, oh my gosh, we have all walks of life. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think people need to just start concentrating on, we have to work in the right networks. Like, why are we so shocked when we sign up somebody that, I guess what I'm saying is they're not going to be good because you had to talk them into it. They have a bad attitude. You go to their Facebook page, it's like depressing. I mean, they don't do it, they don't have a network of people, but we look and we're so like, why we're so shocked that they signed up and nothing happened. For me, I'm learning as the years go by, you've got to work in the right network. That's what I've been so trying to teach people over the last year and been really passionate about, is making sure you're working in the right networks of people. It's just like when people say to you, I can't afford that. You're not working in the right network. It's not a need or a want for them. You've got to get to people that need this. You've got to find those people that see the value in being healthy, and see the value in wanting to feel better. And those people aren't going to say, I can't afford this. They're going to try to figure out a way, right? If something's making you feel better, you're going to try to figure out a way. Like when you think about, like, do you center around what network you're working in, or are you just talking to anybody? Like, do you kind of study somebody and go, okay, this person's got a lot of Facebook friends, or there's a lot of Instagram things here, or they look super outgoing? Because I do now. I do before, but I was spinning my wheels so much. I might sign 10 promoters this month, but nobody does anything because I kind of knew signing them that they weren't ready, or that this probably wasn't their cup of tea. I just wanted to sign someone. I think we all go through that. But then we get frustrated thinking, oh my gosh, I just signed 10 people and nobody's working. I don't know if what I'm saying is making any sense, but I'm like trying to like get people to focus on your network matters, where you're working and what you're saying and who you're working with. Those things matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And the saying, your network is your net worth, is so true. But please know, I absolutely agree with what you said about how entrepreneurs are good at this, only because we are hungry. And where we come from, like as a brick and mortars business owner, this is so much easier, so much easier. So yes, prospect those entrepreneurs, prospect those business owners, but please know that my salon life did not get me to 200K. If you're not an owner or not in a salon industry or anything like that, that doesn't mean you can't still do it.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't want anybody thinking I'm saying if you didn't own a salon, you can't succeed in that. No, I mean, when I look at my team, I look at all these people that, I started with 100 friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
You don't need, but what you do need to understand is that if you're like introverted, you have to learn how to become a little bit more, and those are all things that you can totally change about yourself. I've watched people do it, because with every little success or every little milestone comes confidence. I've watched people completely come out of their shell and change, everything, because they wanted this so bad. But sometimes you have to, do those things, because you do have to, in some way, shape, or form, have an outgoing personality, even if it's through messages.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that.
So we are coming up at the top of the hour, and I just want to ask you to close this out. Do you have like anything that you want to leave us with, like a main tip? Is there something on your heart? Is there something like that you give a little inspiration to those people on here that maybe lost a bonus? Maybe they lost rank. Maybe summer has sucked. Maybe they're having a hard time, like, getting going again because they feel like they kind of stopped working it like they should. And now, I know we've all been there where we're like, oh crap, it's been like 2 weeks. Now it's 3 weeks. Now it's a month. Maybe I can't restart this. I'm not in the right mindset. Like, give us a little, just end us out with something that is on your heart.
Yeah, sure. I would have to say my best advice is don't quit. The only way you're going to fail in this business is if you quit. That's the only way. And as a brick and mortars business owner, I couldn't quit because I had a 6-figure business loan. That kind of tied me to it. But don't quit. And if you're feeling stuck, that is just the universe telling you it's time to grow. So get into your self-development, plug into your upline, and put some massive action to get your momentum ball rolling. And it's a numbers game, guys. Like, if you're not seeing the results, I guarantee it's because you're not talking to enough people to get the results you're looking for. So just keep that in mind. This business is so simple. Don't make it overly complicated in your head. It's just a matter of how many people you are taking your product or opportunity to, and just don't quit. If you don't quit, you'll find success. It will happen. It's just a matter of when it's your time. So do you want me to answer some of these questions? I see some people.
Yeah, if you see any that I didn't get to look at them yet.
Jesse says, when people say, sure, I'll take a look, what do you say next? I'll tell you what, guys, if you guys find me in Messenger, I can send you all of my scripts because I have scripts for every response in a text replacement in my phone. But seriously, when they say, I'll take a look, I'm leading with the opportunity. I send them the Lavelle opportunity YouTube video. And I tell them, take a look at this quick 2-minute video. I let them know it's less than 2 minutes. And it's a call to action at the end. Give me a thumbs up when you're done. And I will say, if anybody looks at that video, it does say the word pain in it, but I have a compliance email that compliance has given me the go ahead to use the video. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Kendra just said, I just think people don't know what to say. And it's so true. Like, I think that's what stops so many people is we overthink it. It's just like going live. We're like, okay, I'm going to go live. And then we're like, crap, what am I going to say? Am I going to look silly? You know, or I'm about to send this message. And then we just totally start to not even become ourselves. Right. Now we become a whole other version of someone else. And that's why it doesn't work. Because if I go to message my friend today and say, hey, let's go to lunch, and then afterwards, and then we start, shooting the shit, I don't think about that. I just message. Mm-hmm. But if I'm messaging a stranger, I mean, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a Maria Dillard. She's got times she's like, how am I going to send this message? Or what should I say? We all do it. It's just, you've got to like take that first reaction, like, okay, let's make it happen. And you just have to act. And that's what I found like definitely works for me, is just not overthinking it, just being myself. Yeah. If you feel shy or silly, say it. I'll say that in a message. Gosh, I hope you don't think I'm being some kind of salesperson. I mean, I'll say whatever is there, whatever I'm feeling, because I think it's relatable to people too. They're thinking, okay, that's a real person. They're nervous, or they're scared, or they feel silly. And it kind of makes them, I don't know, feel better, if that makes sense. I think it works anyways that way.
Absolutely.
Well, I just want to, first of all, again, thank you so much, Jennifer, for hopping on with us today and just sharing your heart and your story. And I promise you, you have helped and affected a ton of people today. I'm already getting messages, private ones, saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I just really appreciate you. And I always say we get paid twice on Tuesdays, once with our paycheck and once with this call, because we get somebody amazing like you on sharing your heart, and I just appreciate you. So thank you. And you guys, we just got paid. It's 10 o'clock. Well, it's 10 my time. That's payday for me. It's 1 o'clock Eastern, so we all got paid. And Jennifer, I am so grateful for you. Are you going to be at the leadership retreat?
No.
Sorry. I won't see you.
Watch everybody have a great time. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the new launch. How about that?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Whatever it is, I have a feeling it's an eye cream. I think it's going to be something that gets rid of wrinkles real quick, but that's just my guess. If that's true, I'm so excited, so excited. But I will see you at the next event. I'll see you at the next getaway. I will, if you see me, I see you. We'll give each other a big hug. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Talk
to you later.
Thank you guys for hopping on today. We will get the recording out. Thank you for pouring into yourselves. I get it. It's summer and you're like, hey, I got better things to do. But to make sure that you get on these, it's so important. It feeds yourself. It gets you pumped up for the week. And you never know. A 200K could give you a tip that you have not even thought about. And it could change your whole business. It's been a call like this or a training that I've gotten to, it's been one little nugget that's changed my entire business or gotten me out of a slump. So congratulations to those of you guys that got on and poured into yourself today. I love you guys. Appreciate you. Happy payday. Have a good day, guys.